Guys, 1 week has passed. We have one episode left of The Boys next week, and we are here talking The Boys episode 7, season 2, The Butcher, Baker, and the Candlestick Maker. What a great damn title for this episode is. We will be going over this episode in full spoiler detail. So, of course, if you guys are new here, consider hitting that like and subscribe button so we can keep talking The Boys every single week over here. As well, guys, comment down below and let me know your guys' thoughts. What is your favorite moment from this episode? What are you looking forward to next episode? And how are you just liking this whole season overall? Now, if you haven't seen this season yet, or you haven't seen this review, or you haven't seen the new episode, make sure to click the link up above. I do have a non-spoiler review of the whole entire season of The Boys, because I'm very fortunate enough and got an early screener for this. But guys, this is going to be so much fun to talk about. So without further ado, let's get straight into this. This, in a sense, is very much the pendulum episode, setting up everything for the next episode to come. And let me tell you guys, next episode is ferocious. I mean, this one really much moves all the pieces that it needs to be. And we learn a lot about our different characters. Kind of just going through the main points of this episode that really stuck out to me was a lot of, again, this season is really dealing with Butcher as a person and where he is really at as a person. You know, we finally learn more about his background history throughout this, especially when it comes to his wife, his relationship with his parents, and we get a lot of that detailing in here with his father, especially when that whole relationship comes into head, which again, really plays into this whole thing of, I think Butcher needed that conversation with his dad to kind of get him back on course of where his mindset is, and especially what he is doing inside this whole entire society. And I think this is a really important episode because of all those moments. And again, Butcher as a character this season, you know, in the first season, I feel like he was a very great supporting character that everyone loved. But this season alone has really pushed him to the forefront, him and Homelander, and really showed how their ideologies, the parallels between them, and really how they kind of are the same type of person, but just in different type of capabilities, just both really fucked up from their past. And I'm really loving how this season is able to really focus in on that. Really, let's start off with talking about that opening scene with the guy who was a very big supporter of Stormfront, and actually how that really turns out for him at the end. And, you know, this is very much plays a very timely thing for our society today, where people look up to certain politicians, actors, actresses, and people look up to them, and sometimes you can get the wrong motivation from that. You know, we do see a lot of different things, and this is probably one of the more heavy-hitting topics that the show is able to place inside of here in a very subtle manner. Even with that subtle manner being pushed to the side, a lot of big things got moved into place. Lamplighter killed himself. Holy crap. You know, he's just sitting on the couch watching pornos with Huey while Huey's protecting him, but Huey finds out on the news that Starlight is captured. She's been captured. Stormfront and, you know, Homelander have put it out in the public like, hey, this is what's going on. She is a crook. She is destroying us. But no. The true villain of this is Starlight's mother. No, in all actuality, no, we understand what the mother was trying to do. She was just trying to be a mother, trying to rekindle the relationship, but Vought abused that, used that. And Huey convinces Lamplighter, like, you want to be this hero, let's go. They go to the tower, all this sorts of stuff. Lamplighter's right in front of the statue, and he kills himself. Holy shit, he killed himself. Did not see that one coming. This becomes a very interesting thing throughout this, because now it gets intense. Huey's all alone in here. He rips off his hand to go through the doors and find out where Starlight and her mother is. Finds the mom. Starlight's already out, but oh god, yeah, we got some things going on here, because Black Noir starts slamming her, kicking her ass, all this sorts of stuff, and Queen Maeve comes out of nowhere and saves her. After really much, Queen Maeve has been an interesting supporting character. You know, we got a little bit of her in the first season, especially after the plane stuff, it got interesting. But this season's been interesting, especially learning about her past and her relationship, and again, all the stuff that she's now planning up to blackmailing, of course, Homelander. It's cool to see her kind of go back against Black Noir and feed him the almond joy, which in Starlight's an almond joy. Did you feed him that? And he goes, yeah, he has a really bad tree nut allergy. Like, oh my god, like, that's his kryptonite. What a funny thing to place in there. Of course, then Starlight and Huey and the mom all rekindle and reunite. They get out alive, they meet up, and also going around and all inside this, Mother's Milk and also the agent go to this guy's house who used to work for Vought, tries to convince him to work with them. He doesn't want to do it, but then Butcher swings right in and calls him a dirty cunt and gets him to come in on side. And of course, they go to the nice court meeting. They're all celebrating. They're like, we are going to win against Vought. And then blood shoots everywhere. I mean, everywhere. Like, holy shit. Blood was literally splash there, holy shit there, oh my god, who is doing this? I think a lot of us are looking at, is it that girl who got picked up from the hospital? Is it her? Is she hired from someone? What is going on? Who is doing this? We are obviously hopefully going to find this out very soon, but in that one moment alone, I was just like, oh god, what do you do now? And it ends right there, setting us up for what's to come. Kind of playing into a couple other small things that do set up for the rest of the season is Stormfront and Homelander do take the kid and go right off jolly off with him, and that of course is going to freak out Butcher's wife, which is not a great thing for her. Again, seeing that relationship between Stormfront and Homelander, they're the characters that you hate to love because their performances are so damn good, and the way that they play off these characters, as the ideologies, their psychology. Stormfront is a fucking racist prick, and Homelander is just a mentally fucked up person. But actors and actresses play them so well that it's hard not to be like intrigued every single time they are on screen. And taking this kid again is going to play in some big effects, guys. Big effects. Still, throughout this whole season, the one thing that kind of sticks in the back of my mind is, what is this Church of the Collective? What are they doing with this? It's always been this subtle thing, and I do hope that there is some payoff later down the road. I'm not going to say if anything happens in the next episode. We will find out very soon. I'm trying to play a little bit coy into everything that happens within this, but it's interesting to say the least. I'm not that sold yet on the Collective Church. It's interesting still, but nothing that's grabbed me yet. Of course, guys, that's my thoughts on episode 7, season 2 of The Boys. What did you guys think about this episode? Did you guys like it? Did you hate it? Let's discuss it all down below in the comment section. As well, guys, head on over to Sam Sean Films on how to see films early. And of course, it's a big day to you and a big day to my Patreon supporters, because without you, I wouldn't be able to do this. Thank you guys again. And of course, tune in for next week when we jump into the final episode of The Boys. And I cannot wait for them to just get on with season 3. We're already getting tons of announcements about it, and I'm just so psyched, guys. Thank you guys again. And of course, until next time, stay classy.